Hey guys, thanks for watching. Elise Makes a Bunch of Videos. Today I have a Storytime vlog. If you want to check out more of my Storytime things on YouTube, I'll have a link to the playlist in the description of this video. Today's story is about a time when I was working in Torquay, which is a little town in Devon. Check out this little bird. Oh, what are you doing, little bird? What are you doing? Yeah. Anyways, nothing to do with that. Yeah, I was working at a hostel. There's, I think, only two in that town of Devon, so I won't say who it is particularly. Although I think the owner of this hostel was opening up a second location. The first original one that I was working at was a sort of Beatles theme name hostel. And it was not the Madame Butterfly or whatever the other one was. So if you care to figure out which one that is, then go right ahead. But I'm not making any accusations in particular. The deal with that one was that I think you would work 12 hours in a week, and that would be in exchange for free accommodation in a dorm room. Yeah, so I was doing that, and the owner of the hostel was a bit sort of skeezy in a lot of ways that I won't get into, but yeah, anyways, I was working there, and like a lot of the backpackers who were there, I was also looking for side work to make money. Most of us were legal to actually work in the UK, so that was fine. Yeah, so I was doing a few odd jobs. I was working through a temp agency, and I got a few odd jobs here and there. And then at one point, very last minute-ish, the temp agency called me and said, "Oh, I can get you some work tomorrow," which was Boxing Day. So that would have meant extra money because they have to pay you extra on a stat holiday, or bank holiday as they call it in the UK. So I was like, okay, well, I'm scheduled to work at the hostel, so I'll see. I said, I'll get back to you. So I contacted the owner via text message and was like, listen, I have an opportunity to work tomorrow. I am scheduled to be working at the hostel. Is there any chance I can swap shifts? Or I will just work Christmas Day, like I don't care. If not, that's fine, I just won't take the shift. So it was a question that I put out. And in response he said, yeah, that's fine with me. And then I responded back, okay, well, does that mean I'm working Christmas, or what day do you want me to swap for? And he said, oh, don't worry about it. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, interesting. Because he did sort of have inconsistencies in terms of people filling their shifts and all sorts of things. Anyways, so I did the shift, I came back, and I was also going away for a week and then coming back over New Year's. So I went away for that week, I came back, and then I think right before I left, less than 24 hours before I left, he was like, yeah, so about that day that you took off and did a different job, yeah, you're going to owe me £60 for that day now. And I'd only been there less than a month, and he had also done some similar skeezy type thing to another one of the volunteers, where they were sort of like not happy with the place, or just not wanting to stay for the amount of time that they originally had said, and then he was charging them some exorbitant amount, like £100 or £80 or something, I can't remember. So I guess I shouldn't have been super surprised about that, but yeah, I was just like, but I offered to do a different shift or to just not take the work. Like, why wouldn't you just say in the beginning that if I didn't take the shift, it would be £60? Like, that's a bit ridiculous. That's way more than you would pay for a 12-bed dorm bed for one night or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, so I left and I was away for my week. And then during that week, I decided, well, this guy's a bit of a skis ball. I'm not going to stay there anymore. So I decided to leave. I went to Bristol for a week and ended up in Liverpool for the rest of the winter. Lesson there being there was a few negative reviews on his HelpX description. There's a lot of reviews because he takes a lot of people. And even though it's against the policy, I'm pretty sure he was bribing a lot of people to give good reviews while they were still staying there. You're very much not allowed to do that. Anyways, so it's really made me sort of look into and question anyone who's got bad reviews. Also, if you're a host for HelpX, or if you know anyone who is, and you notice that someone has a bad review, like a helper has a bad review from a host, probably check if they've also put a bad review to the person, because it's usually just a revenge thing, like what he did to anyone who gave him a bad review. He said that they were like unreliable, bad workers, or all bad attitude, blah, blah, blah. But really, he was just a skis ball, out to rip people off, and just all around horrible. So I would definitely not recommend anyone to stay there. Not that I'm going to say specifically where it is, but if you really want to know, you can probably figure it out. Devon. There's only 2 hostels. Possibly 3. 2 of them possibly owned by the same person. Skeezy, greasy Irishman. Anyways, so that's my story for the day. I just really enjoy sort of real talk about travel stuff that happens. Like, I think like a lot of travel shows and travel vlogs are always like highlighting the bright, shiny rainbows and everything, and not sort of the dark end, the dark side. That's why I really liked Idiot Abroad. That was a really good show, even though it was just sort of like a prank show in some ways. It really did sort of like get a feeling of like, yeah, it's not always amazing as it looks in your Facebook photos. Like, sometimes you're just like, really? I did all that and paid all that for this? Idiot Abroad. Great show. Fantastic. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this vlog. And if you haven't already, obviously subscribe to my channel, leave a comment if you have any questions or want to hear anything specific about travel or anything else. Anyways, signing off. I'm just here in some reserve, Honky Reserve, I think, in the Bay of Islands of New Zealand, outside in Kerry on my way to the stone store, cutting through this scenic route. And that's it. Peace.